Pukeology podcast, where science meets your hilarious puke stories and the tips and tricks to stop that up-chuckle that you need.
You never know what's going to spew out of her mouth. Here's
my mama,
Dr. Pukeology.
The joys of exercising while pregnant. Well, can I exercise while I'm pregnant? Of course you can. Continued exercises that you did before you were pregnant, and I'll even recommend some exercises that you should be doing on a daily basis in order to help to ease your delivery. In today's Pregnancy Pukeology podcast, episode 44, Exercise While Pregnant, and how it'll help you too to get a great night's sleep. Did you know over 78% of moms have trouble sleeping at night? If you're lying awake in the middle of the night, tossing and turning and unable to sleep, then you should check out the Sleepy Lotion from 8 Sheep. It's a body lotion specifically formulated to help pregnant moms sleep better and also helps with common pregnancy pains like restless legs, leg cramps, and hip and back pain. Over 40,000 moms have used this lotion and rate it 4.8 stars. It comes with a 60-day money-get-back guarantee. And if you're not 100% satisfied, you can return the jar for a full refund. So go right now to 8sheep.com to check it out. That's the number 8 and the animal sheep. 8 Sheep. If you want to hear some hilarious pregnancy humor that may just make you want to pee your pants, stay tuned. Like you don't have to pee all the time anyway, with hilarious stories such as Run Forrest Run, to box or not to box? That's the question. And swim into the green? If you want to learn more about your pregnancy, humor and knowledge is key to help you survive these 9 months. And just know we're in this together. Today, you will learn the science behind which physical activity is recommended for pregnancy and why we tell you not to do certain sports because they put pressure on the uterus. And again, overheating is something very dangerous in all 3 of your trimesters. So let's avoid that and stay healthy during our pregnancies. Get ready to learn more and all of this and more in today's Pregnancy Pukeology podcast, episode 44, Pregnant and Exercising.
The science of puke, Pukeology.
Women who work out carry to term, according to the University of Utah Health. It helps with labor, gives the mom better mental clarity, and promotes better prevention and management of urinary excretion. That's a really big word for you not peeing yourself when you cough, sneeze, etc. Which, if you've ever had a baby before, you know that actually helps. Exercising helps you to not do that. You don't want to pee on yourself when you're at the trampoline park, FYI. Exercise is great. So once again, get out there, ladies. So doc, my most common question, can I continue to work out? Yes, you do you, boo. Health is the most important thing for us as humans. And in order to maintain your body's health, you not only have to focus on your diet, but also exercise on a regular basis. Yes, notice that I use the word diet, which I absolutely hate that word during pregnancy, but there are things that you should be eating in pregnancy. So if you ever are curious on what you should be eating, go check out Pregnancy Pukeology Podcast, episode 7, What You Should Be Eating During Pregnancy. Now, the process of keeping yourself healthy cannot stop during pregnancy. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you're eating for 2. Remember, you only need about 150 extra calories per day. But exercise plays an extremely important role and a wonderful role in your baby's growth and the fitness during pregnancy. Also improves your physical and mental well-being. It is very safe to continue exercising with whatever you were doing before in your before life, right? Before pregnancy and during pregnancy, you can do the same stuff. Or if you don't pick up something, you can actually try something new like yoga, and we'll talk about swimming and things of that nature. Now, I don't recommend you saying, well, now that I'm pregnant, I want to go run out, do the New York City Marathon if you've never run 1 mile in your whole life. You would have to build up to that slowly and make that something a goal for your post-pregnancy. If you are not a climber, for example, not a mountain climber, You might not want to start with climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Instead, try something like swimming because, again, swimming is very safe. You'll be in the pool, and it also helps to take off that weight. It feels amazing on your belly, and literally you'll be a nice little flotation device with a very cute buoy on the top. Or another great idea is you might want to take a hike. If you were already doing CrossFit, gymnastics, things of that nature, you may want to consider reducing your weight. We actually recommend and suggest that you should only be lifting less than 20 pounds during your first trimester. And that's because of the fact that we would not want the unattachment of the actual baby to the uterine walls, number one. And number two, you want to make sure that you never get your heart rate up so high that you could potentially not be giving the baby enough nutrients. Because remember, think of your baby, think of the placenta, the nutrient giving, think of that as your baby's lifeline, okay? And so if that's the lifeline and it's an organ, right? Your brain is actually getting 20% and your baby actually gets 15% of all of your blood flow, hence why your blood increases during pregnancy to be able to sustain that, since now you have this brand new organ system that you're giving enough oxygen to. When you're doing that, and let's say that you were a gymnast before, well, flipping all over the place is not safe when you're pregnant because you could actually injure the baby by physically, falling on a jump or a flip or whatever that may be. But if you're CrossFit or if you are a weightlifter like I used to be, I will tell you that you have to watch your heart rate. So wear a heart rate monitor if you're going to do anything extreme. And I understand some of you ladies out there, you guys are pumping iron and stuff like that. Just be careful, reduce your number of weights, but increase the number of reps. Trust me, you can do it. I worked out with both of my pregnancies, and actually the one pregnancy that I worked out more so was actually the best of the two. So what are some workouts for pregnant women? Well, the main point of view is that you are only continuing what you're doing previously. So if you were already hardcore working out before, you can actually still hardcore work out, but I would just recommend taking a look and altering it just a little bit while pregnant. Now, recommendations are that these women should do exercises for almost about 30 minutes a day. So even if you weren't exercising before you got pregnant, now's the time, because you will very quickly pack on the pounds that you do not want. You want to make sure that you stay within your healthy weight. That will help you to decrease the risk of having a cesarean section, but also not just having a C-section as a risk, but also that you want to make sure that you are healthy, mind, body, and spirit for the baby. Why don't you take a brisk walk or a mild, moderate intensity aerobic exercise? Ladies who are used to vigorous exercises can continue that even during their pregnancy, unless you have associated medical conditions or complications relating to pregnancy, especially when you're taking a look at your blood pressure, because we would never want to increase the exposure of preeclampsia. Now, exercising on an everyday basis, something that's low key, will actually help you to prevent you from having that, getting high blood pressure. But some of the high blood pressure, such as preeclampsia, is directly related to your pregnancy. So you want to consult your OBGYN or your perinatologist prior to starting any new type of exercise that you were not doing before. Pregnant women who do high impact exercises or play contact sports may be putting too much pressure on the uterus itself. These can cause complications such as bleeding and preterm labor, which we don't want. When the core body temperature of a woman in the first trimester exceeds 102 Fahrenheit for more than 10 minutes, this is actually considered overheating. So you want to make sure that you have a lot more water consumption that you normally have, and don't be outside, especially in the heat of the summer like we are right now, for prolonged periods of time. Heat exhaustion can happen, and it's actually one of the most common causes for women coming in because of the fact that they are just dehydrated and they're overheated. So exercise means that you need to work out your large muscle groups of your body, and intensity is what you will need to sustain in order for you to sweat and increase your heart rate. So moderate intensity exercises include brisk walks and gardening. The duration of workout should be 30 minutes every day for at least 5 days a week. Okay, So we all might not have time 5 days a week, but make it your goal to do 3 days consistently. Make it like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever works for you. At least you can say you can do smaller intervals like 10 minutes and do it 7 days a week if that's something that makes it easier for you. I know I personally have a exercise mat that's right next to my bed. So the first thing that I do is I do push-ups, I do triceps, crunches, which you ladies really can't do crunches unless you have a nice big assisted ball. The pregnancy balls work wonderful for it, but it's a suggestion for you. Get something, get into a routine. So every day that I wake up in the morning, that's what I do. I only do 10 minutes because that's all I have. And if I'm able to do an indoor cycling bike later, I love my Peloton, I will. I'll do it in that sort of way. So if you are new to exercise, though, you need to increase the intensity of daily activities day by day. So you need to start with only 5 minutes a day and increase it into increments of 5 minutes every week until you reach a level of 30 minutes per day. If you've never worked out and if you're not in shape, this is the way to do it. And this is the way to create a happy, healthy lifestyle for the remainder of not just your pregnancy, but the remainder of your life. First trimester workouts. They are, in the most basic ideas, a way to help to develop healthy exercise habits nice and slowly. The exact amount of exercise needed depends on your daily routine and activities before that you were pregnant. The following are recommended exercises during the first trimester. Kegel or pelvic floor exercises. They keep your abdominal muscles and your female orgasm strong. Okay. I said orgasm and I actually meant to say your female organs strong, but they help with orgasms too. So what I want you guys to do is while I'm talking, contract your vagina as though like somebody, one of your kids or somebody, your mother-in-law, walks in the bathroom while you're peeing. All of a sudden, you suck it in, and I want you to hold it for 5 seconds or the remainder of this paragraph, 5 to 10 seconds, and then release it, repeating this step, the same step 10 to 20 times a day. This is wonderful for decreasing people peeing on themselves post having a baby. So again, if you're ever curious, why is it that I have to pee all the time anyway during pregnancy? Because that is something that everyone always asks. You actually increase the amount of urination during the first trimester, the second trimester, and even much more importantly, the third trimester. If you're curious on it, just go over to episode 11, Frequent Urination in Pregnancy, and you'll find out all about how that is extremely helpful. But ladies, here's a secret. It also makes you super horny. So great idea, FYI, to do it before your man comes home, because if you're either one or the two types of pregnant women, either you're horny all the time or not horny at all. And just because you're pregnant doesn't mean that you can't enjoy sex. Check out episode 16, Sex During Pregnancy, and what are the 5 best sexual positions while you're pregnant. Jogging and walking. These are awesome. Walking is the lowest impact exercise and results in a slight increase in your heart rate. You can power walk, get a little into it, right? Or you could just Beyonce strut all the way down your street if you really want to. It also improves your physical and mental well-being. In the beginning, take it from the start. Okay, 10 minutes a day, then increase it gradually until 30 minutes for at least 5 days a week. Don't try to run if you're not accustomed to it before, because you could potentially get more different types of injuries. Remember that your ligaments are very stretchy at this point in time. Your body is increasing the amount of relaxin, which is a hormone that relaxes everything. So you'll notice your hips are no longer square, right? And no longer pointing forward. They start to point outward. Think of like a ballerina with a plie. And that's because of this hormone relaxin. Well, guess what it's trying to do? It's trying to open up your hips to get ready for the baby to go down that actual birth canal. And if you're a person who has never run before, your ligaments are not going to be accustomed to it. And it's a great way to get yourself into an orthopedic surgeon if you bust your knee by trying to run, if you're not used to it. However, if you were efficiently running, you were a marathon runner, you did a bunch of running before, you can still continue to do it. When you're in about your third trimester, you're going to want to invest though in one of the belly supports. Those will save you. And make sure that you have not just the regular belly support, that's just the the clasp in the front or the Velcro, but they also have ones that come up a little higher so it supports it from sagging. You'll really thank me later. Swimming, oh, my absolute most favorite pregnancy exercise. I tell all of my pregnant patients this. Swimming or other water exercises. Have you ever taken a Zumba class in the water? So much fun. I took my first one in Mexico. And the reason why is because it's hard to do. You try to dance inside of the water and you'll notice that you actually have to activate more muscles, but there's no resistance, which is great for your muscles and joints. So swimming is the most efficient way to develop your body muscles and stay flexible. It has the least risk of muscular injuries and strains and sprains, and beginners should start with almost every 30-minute session per week. And once you're used to it, then you can make swimming a session for 30 minutes a day, a few times a week. So swimming is something that you can go and start to do, and you can actually build upon it, and it's very relaxing. I saw just recently a lady who actually wore like a scuba, a snorkeling gear, and she wears that because she just wants to continue swimming instead of having to go and like turn to the side. So she was just able to continuously swim. And when she got out of the pool, I told her pregnant little cute self that I thought that was phenomenal. And it's also helping to increase your pulmonary it decreases pulmonary congestion because you're really breathing against that scuba snorkeling. So great idea, just in case you're looking for an awesome activity while pregnant. Yoga. Body stretching during yoga sessions increase your muscle strength and your flexibility. It increases your mental stability and is very helpful during labor because you will have the strength to withstand labor pains due to meditation, and you'll have a very strong sense of self. Separate sessions of yoga, they actually make yoga, prenatal yoga is what it's called. However, if you're a newbie, you'll just need to do about 1 30-minute session a week. You'll really start to feel it. Try not to go to vinyasa, I think it's called, or hagatha. It's that hot yoga first because you're already super, super relaxed and you don't want to really push it anymore or push your flexibility even farther. Remember, what you're not allowed to do though in yoga is you cannot lay flat on your back, okay? No flat on your back, no hot yoga like we talked about. Don't raise your feet up above your head without being on kind of like a platform. Think of it like as a V is okay, but also tilts and twists. Exercising, I would not suggest it because, again, no tilts and twists. Instead, you can do things that are highly balancing and taking your core, such as holding a plank. Side planks are okay, but never try to move back and forth with weights. It's just not safe. Pilates is a great way to improve your internal strength and balance. It is really good for helping to extend and decrease your lower back pain and pain that's related to the baby. If you ever get round ligament pain, I had the worst during my first trimester. And upon doing that, it gives you a new balance or a shift in balance. And the concept of Pilates is that you want to do things that are sustained your own body weight, right? So it's so you're taking a contraction that would normally be, and not the kind of contraction when you're having a baby. I mean muscular contractions. When you take that contraction and you hold it and then pulsate, pulsating is so great for building your muscles. And you can start with 5, maybe 10 minutes, and then start to work up your way 30 to 60 minutes every week. Again, avoid aggressive behaviors that are in Pilates or aggressive movements, and don't use any weight. It's just your body, which is awesome. So least intense weight training. So weight training that's not really that high. Avoid heavy lifting weights because you can get some serious related injuries, muscular strains. Again, remember to use left uterine displacement. Woo, that's a big word. All right. So all that means is you're going to take a towel, and you're going to literally put it on your right hip. Okay, anything that you do, don't ever lie flat on your back, especially during your 3rd trimester. You literally will not be able to feel like you can breathe. Well, if you're not breathing, think the baby's not breathing either. This way, you tilt your body a little bit to avoid and get the weight off of your, both of your vessels, right? So you're trying to get it off so that you kind of move it over to the side so that you can have enough blood flow that gets back to your brain and gets back to the baby itself. Stationary cycling, shout out once again to Peloton. If you guys, you can follow me at No Mo Nausea if you are a Peloton fan. But that's a stationary cycling bike. There's a bunch of other ones, but indoor cycling is awesome and well recommended. You can also do road cycling, get out on the bike and get outside. Start with a 10 to 15 minute session, and then they can extend their sessions for 30 to 60 minutes by increasing the intervals. So now that you kind of get an understanding of how and what duration of time, let's get into something a little bit funnier with some of your hilarious puke stories.
Throwing up on a Tuesday? One puke story.
I love running marathons, and I've been doing it for years. My husband and I were trying to have a baby for the last 5 years, so if it happened, we would be very excited. So I was running the New York City Marathon, and I saw my husband and family with a huge sign, and then all of a sudden, I felt like I was going to puke. Well, I never get sick from running, so it was a really weird feeling. As I got up closer to them, I couldn't hold it in anymore, and I threw up all over the street. My family was completely appalled, so I decided to take a pregnancy test after the race, of course, which was my slowest time I've ever had because I didn't feel like me the whole time, and it was positive. So we celebrated my sore feet and a new baby on the way. Oh, congratulations, Nikki V, and thanks for that hilarious puke story. My husband is an MMA fighter, and I loved kickboxing. That's how we first met. I used to love beating up his friends, but one day I just didn't feel like me in the gym. So I hit the bag a few times. Now remember, I have boxing gloves, and I felt this shaking of my tummy from when I had eaten an eclair just a few hours earlier. And that was without warning. With my gloves still on, I spewed all over the bag. Everyone stopped, including my love, and he thought it was because I couldn't hang with his super strenuous gym friends. But what he didn't know is I tested positive on my pregnancy test that night and threw up every morning thereafter. Hashtag true story. That's actually my story. So that's a little bit about me and my hilarious puke story. So that's actually mine, and how I found out that I was pregnant was because I vomited all over my husband's gym. I have been a swimmer ever since high school and was currently in college on the swim team under a scholarship. I found out I was pregnant just a few weeks ago and didn't want to tell anyone because I needed to finish out the semester to not lose my scholarship. Well, it was in the morning of a middle relay race that I actually vomited bile in the pool. Oh my gosh. It was completely green in my lane that the announcers made a comment, the vomit comment, and I was so embarrassed, and my teammates were so supportive once I told them. They nicknamed me Nausea, N-A-J-A, after that. Thanks, Swim Seal 27. Now, do you have a hilarious puke story that you just can't wait to share? Send it to me. Pukeology, Pukeology, at nomonausea.com, NOMONAUSEA.com, or tweet me at Pukeology so we can all have a good laugh.
Tips and tricks to stop the up-chuckle that you need.
Interested in staying healthy during your pregnancy? Well, get active. We've been talking about it now for the last 20 minutes. So I know it's hard being that we're all here quarantined due to coronavirus, but let's make good use of the wonderful weather outside because it is summer, and virtual prenatal workouts. Tons of fitness instructors are offering everything for free just because we need to be a united front, all of us together. So if you ever feel the need and you're like, man, I want to work out, but I don't really feel good in the morning, turn to No Mo Nausea. It has peppermint essential oil infused acupressure that is clinically proven to stop 80% of pregnancy, nausea, or vomiting in just seconds. And definitely throw one on every time you want to work out. It will save you a trip to the bathroom, if you know what I'm saying. So you should exercise. And again, what are those exercises that you should be doing? We started talking about a few that are moderate intensity, but now I'm going to talk about some pregnancy-safe exercises that you've got to try if you're not already doing them. walking, the easiest workout that you can start from day 1 of pregnancy and continue all the way through to your delivery date. It is considered a whole body exercise that is easy to do and perfect for you, your joints, and your muscles. Pop on some good tunes and walk it out. Running. Do you want to run faster? Then all you need to do is ask your gynecologist first if it's allowed, or if you are capable of running. Start slow and go slow, meaning start low in time, 5-minute increments, and then increase it. You can do run walks until you feel comfortable and get that belly band. There's no shame in my game to support my big old tummy. Aerobics and dance. Zumba, dance, and aerobics classes increase your heart rate. If you are new to these classes, you can also do the water version of them. But if you are doing the outside land, quote unquote, version, make sure that you have a heart rate monitor because you wouldn't want to get up too high for fear or risk of overheating and exhaustion. Climbing the stairs or doing an elliptical. These are great pregnancy exercises, but again, remember to take extra care, must be observed in order to avoid pains, strains, and injuries. Kickboxing. Now, if you were already a kickboxer like me before, you can continue that. However, don't get into a fight, meaning you don't want to have the risk of something else hitting you back, but you can hit a bag. If you've never done it before, during pregnancy is not the best time to start. Yoga and Pilates. Before I go to yoga and Pilates, I want to revisit kickboxing because there's some amazing kickboxing aerobics routines that there are out there, and they are low impact. So you can do things like that and feel safe that you are. So let's go to yoga and Pilates. These are both exercises that reduce stress, increase flexibility, stretching, and breathing. They are specifically designed for women that are helping you to teach modified yoga positions and shifting balance towards that baby bump. So I would highly recommend prenatal yoga if you've never tried it before. Stationary bicycle is also good to increase your baby bump. Believe it or not, increasing the duration of your labor. So you're going to make sure that you're going to have a baby much faster. And it's also really great to help to train your muscles that you're used to not using. So we all talk about round ligament pain and your hip flexors. Well, think about it as you're really strengthening your core, your lower abdomen, and your quads so that your hip flexors won't have very much pain during your baby. Swimming is also a perfect body workout for pregnancy. Why? Well, because of the fact that there's really no chance of muscular injury or strain. During an underwater workout, your body weight is less than your body weight on land, so you feel lighter. It may also relieve some of your nausea and swollen ankles because you're getting the blood going forward without the heavy weight. The only thing you need to be careful of is walking along a slippery slide of the actual pool deck. Remember, you can slip, and we would never want you to fall in doing anything like that. However, if you are a runner, a jogger, or play some really incredible professional sports, you can continue these activities even during your pregnancy without fearing. And just because you're starting to get a sciatic pain during your last trimester doesn't mean you need to quit. So listen to Pregnancy Pukeology podcast, episode 31, for 8 natural ways to stop sciatic pain fast during your pregnancy. Remember, you are not allowed to do any of the exercises that can increase the risk of injury, like skydiving, super hot yoga, surfing, boxing, where you're actually boxing someone else, not just aerobics, soccer, basketball, the things where anything could come flying at your belly. Stay away from it, ladies. Now, I'm sure you guys are thinking about all this exercising, and all you can think about is the pain after working out, especially if you're not in a normal routine. Well, I'm about to tell you the benefits of massaging, not just yourself, but also getting a prenatal massage. The post-workout stretch and removing the lactic acid from your muscles is very important. Try 8 sheep lotion before bed. It will really help to massage fatigued muscles. And if you're massaging yourself, always go from your feet to your head when rubbing your calves, because you want to help the blood flow go back up to your head. And there's nothing like a good prenatal massage. You may notice after removing the lactic acid or that soreness that you feel after you work out that you might have to pee more. And that's exactly how lactic acid is excreted. So don't let a little pain get in the way. Massage it out and just know you're going to be stronger for tomorrow, the day after, and just like the University of Utah Health said, you actually will help to reduce the duration of your delivery. And most moms actually go to date, meaning that they are full term even when they're exercising. So don't let anyone tell you any different. If you are going to start a brand new type of sport, make sure that you consult your OBGYN, but ultimately get that great feeling, because exercise releases such incredible endorphins, and I want you to experience that while you're having your pregnancy. Keep your mind, body, and spirit healthy and happy during all 9 months. So now that you know the most recommended exercises for pregnant women and why sticking to these sports are best, if you love Pregnancy Pukeology podcast, let me know with a 5-star rating or hearts for likes. Don't forget to download this episode, but more importantly, share it with all your prego friends. Thanks again for listening to Pregnancy Pukeology podcast, episode 44, Exercise During Pregnancy. What's the best way to stay healthy and strong during your pregnancy? See you in 2 weeks.
Pukeology Podcast. Edutainment at its finest.